RocSports. I'm back with another video. As you can tell by the title, this is my reaction video to the big fight that we just saw. Let's get right into it. So, Canelo Alvarez, Bivol. Don't want to butcher his name. He just beat the hell out of Canelo, man. What did we just witness? So I didn't do a prediction video. Part of the reason just because I just didn't have the time to. Nonetheless, I thought Canelo would win this fight. Decision. I didn't think that he would knock Bivol out. I knew who Bivol was. I've been tuning into Bivol for a couple years now. But I just think that I thought that he would have been similar to what he fought in recently, from the standpoint of he would give Canelo some problems. He would give him a couple good rounds. But I just thought that eventually Canelo would break him down to the body, and I wasn't sure if he would get the stoppage, but I just think that he would break him down to the body and would weaken Bivol, and he would ease to the decision. But man, listen, Bivol is a totally different animal. Now, he talked a good game the whole lead up to this fight. He said what he was going to do to Canelo. He said how he wasn't going to have much respect for Canelo. But, you know, fighters talk a lot. Like, a lot of the Canelo past opponents talk a lot. But what he pulled off tonight, I said when he was making, before he made his ring walk, when he was walking before he made his ring walk, I said, man, Bivol looking special tonight. He got that look in his eye, how them fighters been looking lately that's been having the big upsets. That look that Andy Ruiz had. That look that I'm missing one major one. Nonetheless, though, he just seemed like he was very game, man. He really did seem like that. Canelo, starting from this fight. Let's talk about the fight. I had it 9 rounds to 3. And one of those rounds I was being nice giving to Canelo, so it really could have been 10-2. But first thing first, I don't know what, well, not first thing first. First thing first, congrats to Bivol and Canelo, because Canelo dared to be great, so you got to respect that. I'm not going to be one of those boxing fans that come up here and dog Canelo. Canelo is Canelo, man. He's an all-time great. Let's just call it what it is. He's one of the best fights today. I always had Terrence Crawford #1, though. And this solidifies that. He had no answer for Bivol, man. He was frustrated multiple times in this fight. Bivol laid out the blueprint for the bigger guys of beating Canelo. The footwork was giving him issues. The combinations was giving him issues. The hand speed was giving him issues. Bivol's toughness, he was just expecting. I feel like Canelo has gotten so accustomed to fighting these guys, whether they smaller or bigger than him, that he can just over time impose his will, mentally break these dudes down, whether it's by pressure or just, you know, strategically breaking them down. He fought Bivol the same way how he's been fighting all of these guys. He thought that Bivol would break. He loaded up on every single shot. And the only shot that consistently got in flesh was the uppercut for Canelo. But his power didn't really seem to affect Bivol as much. Now, he was stunned in the early round. I want to say it might have been the 4th or 5th round. Bivol was stunned towards the end of a round. But for the most part, man, he was right in front of Canelo, man. He said he would. And that's been my biggest issue with people fighting Canelo all this time. Since he really moved up, I feel like these dudes give Canelo way too much credit. Early on, before the fight, before they even feel Canelo power, they be like they fighting as if they the smaller man in the ring. And that'd be my issue with a lot of these guys. Bivol did not fight like that. From round 1, before the fight was even started, he was in the center of the ring, ready to fight. He was game, man. He was game. That jab, the way he would set up his shots, all his punch placement all night was good. Every shot that he threw, the jab to the gut, I really feel like, to the solar plex, really feel like played a big part in this fight. I feel like that opened up, sped up Canelo gassing. It's a lot to touch on in this fight, man. It really is. Canelo hasn't looked like this in terms of his stamina since Triple G, in my opinion. In terms of looking, he looked tired and gassed by the 3rd, 4th round. No lie. Go back and watch the fight. I don't need to see a rematch. At least not right now. I really don't. I mean, there's no point in me even saying at least not right now. I don't need to see a rematch. I'd rather see Bivol fight Joe Smith Jr. or Better Biv. And let's stick with this unifications, man. That's what we've been doing. That's been the motto all 2021 and 2022. Unifications undisputed. That's what it is. So I don't want to see no more hiccups. Canelo got his ass whooped tonight, man. Yes, he's Canelo. Yes, he's a pound for pound, all-time great, all of that. But that had nothing to do with his accolades at 175. He hadn't fought a legit 175 fighter. That version of Kovalev that he fought, come on, man. Anybody that know Kovalev know that wasn't Kovalev. And if we really go back into that fight, Kovalev didn't sit down on no punches. No punches at all. He boxed well, but he didn't sit down on no punches. If Bivol had power like Triple G, or through with minutes like Triple G, or Better Biv, he would have stopped Canelo tonight. Given all his other skills and attributes. But nonetheless, Bivol put on a hell of a performance, man. He had Canelo frustrated. He almost slammed him in the middle of the fight. He was teeing off. He had multiple moments of teeing off on Canelo. Multiple moments. He was turning him. Like I say, the footwork really gave him a lot of problems. The footwork, the jab, whether he would like just paw with it in a sense, just leaving it out there. He did a lot, man. He showed a lot in this fight. He really mixed it up well tonight. He fought well off the back foot. Canelo was not in range a lot of the times, man. Bivol would just slightly take a step back, or sometimes take multiple steps back. It was very Shakur Stevenson-esque, how he would just take a slight step back to get out of range. Well, Canelo wasn't in range, but he was in range. Obviously, he's the much bigger man, longer man, stronger man, but you really was able to see the ring generalship from Bivol tonight. Eddie Reynoso, how good is he? I feel like he gets so much credit. Don't get me wrong. By me saying how good is he, that's not me saying he's not a good trainer. But how good is he? People are quick to call him the best trainer in boxing, as well as Canelo's the best fighter in boxing. But man, I seen no adjustments tonight. No major adjustments. Again, he had no answer for a lot of what Bivol was doing tonight. And it wasn't just by punch selection. We just seen Oscar Valdez get schooled and whooped by Shakur Stevenson. We seen Ryan Garcia left him. People always picked apart Ryan Garcia anyway. How good is Eddie Reynoso? A lot of the problems that gave Canelo trouble are some of the same problems that's been carrying on a lot of his career. It's been factored in with a couple of other things, but some stuff is still a detriment to Canelo's game. And you can say that is who he is, but again, how good is Eddie Reynoso? I don't care what nobody say. I do not put Eddie Reynoso over certain guys. Obviously some of your guys that been around like Freddie Roach, but I'm even saying your Derrick Jameses, man. Your Derrick Jameses and your it's a couple. We're gonna make a video about Eddie Reynoso, but this is credit to Dimitri Bivol for this fight. I mean, for this video. So salute to both fighters. That was a hell of a fight. I was tuned into my TV, locked in from round one, from the ring walks into the decision, because I was really hoping that they didn't rob Bivol. But nonetheless, the scorecards was bad because they had it 7-5 on all three scorecards. And like I said, for me, I had a 9-3, and I felt like I was being nice. Canelo got whooped tonight. I don't know what those three judges, as well as Danny Jacobs, Dan Rafael, and Sean Porter, I don't know what fight they watched that had Canelo winning 5 or 5+ rounds. I don't know what fight they watched. Last thing I want to touch on. What's next for Bivol? I just said I want to see a unification. What's next for Canelo? Just come back down to 68, bro. Defending your titles a couple times. Fight Charlo, fight Benavidez, or, whatever the case. And then just call it one. Canelo has done more than enough in this sport. And his legacy is already solidified in my eyes. I'm kind of glad Canelo lost. Not from Canelo's standpoint, but just because of all of the other fighters. from the Boo-Boos and the Boo-Boo Andres, the Charlos, the Benavidez's, the Caleb Plant. Stop waiting around for this dude. Fight each other. Especially for the Charlo. For Charlo. Benavidez is still young. But for Charlo, you've been screaming out Canelo name now for how long? So, stop worrying about Canelo, man. Go fight somebody who's already on your side of the street. Y'all quick to throw that out there. Caleb Plant or David Benavidez. Fight one of them. But the man, dimitribivol, the talk of the town right now. It's gonna be really interesting to see how much these pound for pound lists change, just everything. How much credit is Bivol gonna get? All of that, man. We got multiple videos coming out about this because there's a lot to be said. I'm about to go tune into the press conference, and that's it. RocSports, I'm checking out. All of my boxing, NFL, and NBA fans, like, share, and subscribe, man. Keep coming back. I'm gonna be dropping more content.